Good morning and welcome to Choir Leader in a Kayak episode 14, and I have nothing to say about the number 14. All I want to say is I'm really happy because I'm back on the river and the swans and the geese are making a really big noise behind me. You can possibly hear them, so have a listen. Yes, because I think they are as pleased to see me as I am to see them. So how are you? How's your week been? Has it been wonderful? Has it been complicated? Probably. This week's episode is all about bravery and survival. Gosh, that swan is really very happy to see me, isn't he? Anyway, what is bravery? What is survival? Well, I think coming to a choir and standing next to a complete stranger and opening your mouth and revealing your voice that you probably want to improve or you probably feel a little bit vulnerable around, I think that's an incredibly brave thing to do. And I watch in awe as 60 people in one choir stand in front of me on Tuesday and 40 people in another choir stand in front of me on Thursday, and then another 30 strangers stand in front of me in other choirs, and they all open their mouths and trust that I can coax out of them a beautiful sound, and I do, and that is a great honour. So I think that's incredibly brave. Some people think that I'm quite a brave person, and I'm not really. I just kind of know what I like, and I have many areas of my life that I need to work on to be a bit braver. And I'll tell you the thing that I'm most frightened of, and it's completely bonkers, and there's actually nothing to be frightened of at all, but I am really frightened of frogs. There we are, I've said it. Will I get over my fear of frogs? Don't know, who knows? But I don't really like frogs. And do you know what? I don't think I need to really get over my fear of frogs, because I don't think me getting over my fear of frogs is going to be particularly life-changing for anybody, is it? But some acts of bravery will be life-changing for the person being brave, and indeed the person that it might have a direct effect upon. Last week we had all sorts of situations where people needed to refine their bravery, to take the smallest of steps to reintroduce very basic things in life that perhaps have become quite scary because of situations that have arisen due to poor health. So that is real bravery, and I think we must never underestimate that everyday people are out there doing things that we take for granted, like going to the shops, like parking the car and walking a bigger distance, and that for them is possibly a real struggle. So before I was a choir leader, I was a flight attendant or a stewardess or a trolley dolly, whichever term you would like to give me, I will gladly accept. And I worked for airlines for many years, and I really tapped back into a lot of my training from my airline days. They're not people who just serve you chicken or beef or fix the entertainment system. They are people, when at the end of the day that aircraft door needs to be opened, they will either enable you to survive or they won't. And it is a crucial part of their job. And I'm really happy to have been a part of some amazing crews. I wasn't ever actually involved in a real emergency or an evacuation, and for that I'm truly grateful, because it means I'm here. However, I did go for yearly training, and we had to open aircraft doors in situations and be taken by surprise. And it's only really then, isn't it, that we know if our training has really kicked in and if we really are going to be brave and do what we need to do. And I think bravery for people is very different, and there are different levels, and until we are faced with a situation where we have to be brave, we don't truly know how we're going to respond. I always remember them telling me in training, it's different for everybody. When the water gets too high, the smoke gets too thick, or the flames are too hot, you have to make that choice yourself when it's the right time for you to leave a situation. I remember one particular year in training, and there were letters all around the room, and the letters were WIIFM, and they stood for What's in It for Me. And I often go back to that when I'm struggling with a situation and I don't know what to do. What's in it for me? By touching a frog, I just get over a fear of frogs, but nothing much else. So I find what's in it for me very, very helpful when I'm struggling to be brave, because we don't have to be brave all the time. There needs to be something that we take from that situation, or perhaps offer to another person by finding that inner strength. So I do believe that it's very important to fit your own oxygen mask first. I do believe that there is always an escape route. We sometimes need somebody to open the door for us. And next time you go on a flight and you look at that stewardess, and you might have all sorts of thoughts about him or her, but ultimately they might be the person that opens that door and saves your life. So that's something to think about, isn't it? So I have come across very brave people last week. A brave young boy, a very brave older man undertaking some surgery, and a very, very brave young woman. And if I can help people find their bravery by stepping into one of my choirs and opening their mouth and sharing their most vulnerable voice alongside a stranger, then I think I'm doing a pretty good thing. So, have a super duper week. I'll see you next week, and be a survivor. Mwah.